question is, are we going to keep migrating or migrating for whatever goes? Are we understanding how this impacts our mental health, either positively or negatively? Let's get into it. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Habiba. I am a registered mental health and substance use nurse. I am also a global mental health expert. And in this channel, all we do is to say everything and anything that will promote your mental health and well-being. That's all we discuss on this channel. If this is your first time tuning in, you're most welcome. If it's not your first time, if you're always here, thank you so much. Being a loyal subscriber takes a lot. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So let's focus on immigration and mental health, which is what today's topic is all about. And we're going to be touching about the on immigration and mental health, which is what advantages of immigration, the negative impact of immigration on our mental health, and the solutions which we can adopt to improve and promote our mental health and well-being. So guys, despite the fact that immigration can affect our mental health, there's no doubt that there are so many advantages that immigration has, and this ranges from financial growth, educational improvement, research purposes, and it also gives individual in-depth, diverse experience in their related fields, occupation, and life in general. So why wouldn't you want to travel? Tell me your reasons for traveling or immigrating or migrating to another country. I want to see that in the comment section below. Let's have an interactive session. Tell us how many of you have traveled to 2-3 places. Some people have traveled to 1 or 2 places for years. I've lived in about 3 countries for over a year and outside my own home country, so I have some experience when it comes to immigration and mental health, and I understand the impact it has, both positively and negatively, depending on your life choices. So I am that person that can give you that good recommendations you can adopt to help promote your mental health and well-being. Global village, and migration is constant. It's quite rapid in this Gen Z's generation, but the question is, are we gonna keep migrating and immigrating for whatever goes? And as much as we do that, are we understanding how that impacts our mental health in a positive or negative way? Why wouldn't you want to immigrate or travel for more development in all of those areas? Let me know if you have reasons that are otherwise in the comment section below. Let's make it an interactive session. What effects does immigration have in our mental health? That's what we'll be discussing now. Number 1 is communication. And in communication, let's look into language. When we have countries where their official language is probably French or Spanish, or talking about Finland, you're talking of Finnish. Talking about Spain, you're talking of Spanish. Talking about Sweden, you're talking of Swedish. Talking about Germany, you're talking of German. So what if you're an English speaking person who doesn't understand any of this language? How are you going to communicate effectively, especially when you're doing a job that involves communication, or in some instances when you want to go and buy stuff in the stores or in the mall? You know, that's going to be a struggle. Utilizing resources can be very challenging. Driving road signs in their languages might be very challenging. Utilizing hospitals or clinics might not be easy for an individual. Fair enough, in some cases you could find an interpreter, but even at that, it will be tough for someone to navigate. So communication is quite huge. Another thing that can cause a negative impact on our mental health is cultural differences and beliefs. And we're talking about differences in our food, religion, mode of dressing, your faith. Tell me how these will not affect your mental health. Every country has their local food type. Not everybody in the whole world is eating the same type of food. We all eat different types of food that you might not be familiar with, right? There's also different faith-based experiences that we have from country to country. Even where you're coming from, you certainly have different types of mode of dressing. You certainly have different types of religious practices. I mean, like in Qatar, their dressing is totally different from the way people in the United States will dress. So the question is, how are you going to navigate this in a way that you still feel comfortable around where you find yourself? It's a worse experience when the food of your origin is not readily available in that place, when you don't have a community that has such. I mean, it's usually rare. You would usually find some of them in some places. You always find your community, but not all countries. Some people experience culture shock. Some practices, policies, and laws would be different in different places. There's also a fact that employment can play a huge factor in our mental health. So when an individual is just newly coming into a new country and they're trying to settle and integrate with all of these challenges, we talked about communication, we talked about different cultural beliefs, we talked about different cultural practices, faith, and all of that. With all of this, and you also face the challenge of unemployment, it can be depressing for some individuals. I mean, if you don't have a strong resilience, if you don't have a strong adaptation skill, if you don't have a great self-esteem, it's going to impact on your mental health. And I would say this for free. With unemployment, it's a huge negative impact on most people, because when they come from their home countries with a very great job, and I mean professional job, talking about engineers, doctors, nurses, we're talking about individuals with a great source of income, and they come into a new country thinking they're going to get that type of job that they've always been exposed to, and the reverse is the case. It becomes quite challenging for them to integrate into such countries. It depends on that individual's adaptation skills or resilience and so many other factors. For some people, they resort to social isolation. They begin to find it difficult to communicate with their loved ones at home, probably because their expectations were way more higher than they thought. And from a perspective of shame, some people would not decide to communicate with anyone. And for some people, it could be a perspective of, I just need to get my brain in order before I talk to anyone, because they don't want things to be compounded, probably because those at home might not understand the struggles being in a new country. All their social groups, their loved ones at home, their friends, they kind of cut off from them, and all of this can cause social isolation. It can cause depression. It can cost you your mental health. So the other thing that can affect this communication with their loved ones will be time zone. The time zone from where they are with that of their home country can also cause a disconnect with their loved ones. So tell me in the comment section if you've had such challenges when you came into a new country, especially probably you struggled with time zone, probably you struggled with unemployment issues, probably you struggled with communication issues, whatever it is, kindly let me know in the comment section below. It'll be a nice read. I really love to read your comments, guys. So now I will be talking about the solutions. How are you going to address this? My number one is communication. So we talked about communication as a challenge. How do we address language and communication aspects? You see, most countries have integration period, usually between 2 to 4 years, but most countries have 3 years. Within this period, most countries expect you to learn the most basic language that they communicate with, and most times it is free. Organizations are available for you to join. Most times it is organized by the government. So try to get in touch with your community of ethnicity. I mean, those that are from your ethnic background. Like if you are from Ghana, you're from Turkey, you are from Germany, you're from Nigeria, you are from wherever you are from, associate with your community so that when you're coming in and settling in, your settlement will be quite easy. Integration will be very easy for you. So basically, basically supporting each other through communities from your ethnic group will do a lot in helping you to stabilize and integrate faster into that community. There's also the fact that you'll also get resources from the government. If you're coming through maybe a work permit or permanent residence, or even as a student, the student section services will get some support and resources for you on how best to associate with communities that align with your ethnic groups or your communities. They can give you websites, social networks, and that would help you to get good information to be able to integrate easily. So the second aspect of our solutions is on cultural differences. So with cultural differences, it's quite similar to community integration. It's also relative, that's what I mean. There are some more peculiar differences that needs to be addressed. Some government has various resources and training and funds to support all of this. When it comes to food, religious beliefs, in most settings, most governments in most countries have arranged ways to help immigrants to integrate easily. So there are usually some training programs, especially when it comes to the language, when it comes to food as well. There's food bank, but you have to meet those requirements to be able to qualify for all of these things. And bear in mind, I'm not talking about any other thing but legal immigrants. There's always a community that aligns with your beliefs. Like I said earlier, you just need to find them, join their association before coming into that country, probably on WhatsApp or whatever online groups they are accessible to. And if you don't even have access before coming in, once you come in, try as much as you can to locate them and ask questions, ask the appropriate authorities and departments to guide you accordingly. Exploring new food is great. I love food. It's quite exciting when you explore new food, different types of food, but beware of allergies. You just have to find out. The next one will be differences in laws and policies. How do we solve that? We cannot deny the fact that even the country you're living, they have their laws and policies, and you're expected to obey them. So it's the same wherever you're going. You're supposed to respect the laws and policies of that country you're going into. So before you leave to that country, you should be well aware, well informed, and get more research to be able to navigate easily. Get those research on their laws and policies so that you will be able to navigate, and you'll be able to evaluate yourself to see, oh, can I cope with all of this? Then why not? If you can, go ahead. So be self-aware, be informed, and try to obey these laws and policies so that you don't get into issues. No one wants to get into trouble with the law. So the next one is employment. So this is one of the big ones. What's the solution? Most countries require immigrants coming into their country to have some certain amount of money in your account. They expect you to have certain amount of money in your account that can last for about 3 months. This window period is for cases like this when you don't get a professional job or a good job that you desire on time. For some people, they would even ask of a bank account of about 1 year. So it's for you to know that, okay, if I am still in my home country and I am still hoping to go next month or next 2 months to Algeria, United States, Canada, or wherever you want to immigrate to, then you should have sufficient amounts in your account. As long as you know you've not gotten a job, bear it in mind that you don't have a job. Don't daydream and say, when I get to Canada today, I'm going to get a job tomorrow. They're going to open the job bank for me and I'm going to get that job that I've always desired. No, things don't work magical like that. They take time. I mean, when I say time, it's a process. I mean, everything takes processes. So once you know you're going, you don't have a job yet. Once you're still in your home country and you know you're on your way to travel, you haven't gotten a job, see yourself as an applicant who is yet to get a job, irrespective of the great type of job you're doing in your home country. Well, you've been listening to a great topic, and I am sure most of you are enjoying it. I want you all to please take that time to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you enjoy this video. If you love my channel, if you love what I discuss, if you love what I promote, please don't hesitate to stop now and subscribe. I'm waiting. I'm taking a break at this point. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. Thank you for doing that. So let's go on to the next. You all should understand how job works as well in different countries. Some professionals in their home countries come here and do menial job for the meantime and gradually gather all the necessary requirements they need to be able to still meet their expectations for the professional jobs they desire. But it's important to have some resilience and some adaptation skills to be able to manage this particular area. So the best thing is for you to try as much as possible to do research on the best educational qualification you need. In resulting to menial job is not the end of the world, because it's all about growth. There's dignity in labor. You're self-aware. You have an understanding of the steps to take to get things resolved, rather than going into a mental breakdown. Understand where you're at, where you're going, and take things one step at a time. It's exciting to work in different places. I've worked in different countries, and I have seen so much differences in people's practices in the same profession, and it's so much of an eye-opener for me. Let me know what measures you've used to navigate employment issues. Change is the only constant thing. Keep striving, keep working hard, keep trusting in yourself, keep believing in yourself, maintain a positive self-concept. Trust me, you're gonna get to where you're going. It's interesting to immigrate. It's fun, it's exciting. I love to travel, and I think I find fun in it. A major diagnosis is adjustment disorder among immigrants. Another one is depression. And all of this is due to situational stressors, which are those things we just talked about. So please, guys, try and take care of your mental health. Understand what you need to know before you travel. Traveling is an interesting part of human life and human nature. I cannot overemphasize on that. There are two different things when you go visiting. There are different things when you live and work in a particular country. If you're someone who's always been visiting, know that when you're going to live there, it's a different experience. So just prepare your mind, prepare your mental health, prepare your physical health, understand what's ahead of you, and over expectations hurt, but at the same time, it's good to be positive, maintain a positive self-concept, and do everything you need to make you socially active, physically healthy, mentally healthy. Tell me about your experiences in all of these things, and let me see it in your comment section below. Let me know what your experiences were. Let me know what your challenges were in immigrating into a new country. Don't forget to like, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you all, and I'll see you all in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.